What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Different Minds. This is another Clear Minds episode. We've been slacking a little bit, so sorry for that. But there's some shit going on in the world, so
Mm,
we figured it was time to speak and talk, communicate, listen, and hopefully spark a larger conversation.
Let's get it.
I think everything that's going on right now is bigger than all of us. You know what I'm saying?
yo,
So
for
Yep.
sure.
um, it's time for action and it's time to like talk for real, for real. So that's why we're here. Uh, and that's that. So I'm gonna start it off with either one of y'all. If y'all got something on your mind about like what's going on right now, how y'all feel about it,
I'm gonna go.
just
I'm
hear
gonna
your
go
two
first.
cents.
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
Like my main problem
Hmm.
with with like society in general is that it took us this long.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And not even the fact, yo, that's what I'm saying. Like since the Kaepernick knee, that should have been
Hmm.
we should have been on this. You know what I mean?
That's fact.
So like, does it come to a shock to me? No.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But that's my standpoint right now. Like I want to find a solution. That's my main goal, is to find a solution. And I think like together we can like combine our heads because we're like the younger
Yeah.
generation, you could say.
That's
The younger generation that can understand more on us, like on a heavier level than like
exactly.
the little ones. You know what I mean? Like the little ones know what's wrong from right, but from birth. You know what I mean? But us, we can
Yeah.
actually do something about it.
Yeah, I feel
So
you on that.
so that's what my
Uh,
main goal right now is.
it's finding a
Like with this
solution.
conversation.
All right, but Kyle, what you think? How
Me,
you
it's
feeling?
like obviously it's a harder like the way I can't like flow like I would usually. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
it's like it's not really like it's hard to figure out when it's my turn to speak and when it's not. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah,
y'all know what my heritage is,
yeah.
but
Hmm.
like I don't look my
No one
heritage.
would know. No one would
Exactly,
know.
that's what I'm saying. So I have to like kind of blend into like another part. And me, what's
Hmm.
crazy is my brother. My brother. He's darker than me, and it's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
he has that different reality, and I don't. So
Exactly.
like,
Kyle is half Indian, by the way, for the
yeah,
people who don't know. Y'all would, if y'all would just see
Y'all
his
would
face,
never
y'all wouldn't
know.
know.
I
But
never.
he's half
So
Indian.
like, obviously, like you guys know, like I'm mostly surrounded by black people in my life. Like my circle is
Hmm.
mostly black, and I'm the only white dude. And like, so
And your mom's brown. Your mom's
yo, and
brown.
my mom's brown. Like,
Hmm.
bro, you don't understand how weird it is when you go shopping and people look at you funny because like
Yeah,
it's fun,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So figuring out like when to speak, when not to speak, and all this mumbo jumbo about all that. So
Hmm.
it's weird because like I'm pissed, but like I question myself like, oh, should I even be allowed to be pissed? And you know what I mean? Like, but at the same
Hmm.
time, it's allowing me to understand like I could use this like privilege for good. You know what I mean?
That's facts.
So and I think
What you
a lot of yeah, a lot of
oh,
people like a lot of white people don't understand that. Like they understand like
Hmm.
the concept. Like I see a lot of people sharing, protesting the good, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
like there's a lot like more than just sharing and protesting. There's like actions you could take and like it's reading up on those actions, like you know what I mean? So we'll get into
Hmm.
that as we go along. But
Yeah,
that's my
yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean?
how you feel, Dream?
The way I feel, kind of to piggyback off what Eddie said, like I'm surprised it took this long, but I kind of get it because just as a black man or as a black person in general, we've been talking about this for the longest time. We like this has been happening, right? And we've been dealing with injustice. We've been dealing with police brutality, all of that, and we've been trying to talk about it, but no one was listening. So a part of me is kind of angry and pissed off that it took this long. But on the flip side, I have to be happy because now I see that more than just our people are talking. You know what I mean? And I think example, Kyle, this is like a great time for you to hop in the conversation because
Yeah.
it's bigger than just us now. You know what I mean? So you as a white male, other people of color now coming together. I've seen people in Palestine protest for this. They have it
Sweden.
way worse. Sweden, everywhere. You know what I mean? Places who have it way worse than we do, but even they recognize, there's something wrong, and we got to change it. So it's kind of encouraging to see everybody, come together and for real. And yeah, I think now it's really like finding actual concrete solutions.
I'm gonna ask y'all this as a as a
Yep.
question to make y'all think is, you think, like right now, the only reason like everything's happening is because it was caught on camera, but a lot. If you've been to the States and if you're from that southern part, obviously this happened in Minneapolis, but
Hmm.
like if you break down the history of the States, you had the North, which was like with Abraham Lincoln and everything, like trying to free the slaves, and then you had the South and whatever.
Hmm.
If you
Yeah,
Google
yeah, yeah.
history, you'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Do your
But
Google. Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
you had that South that's still like that to this day. And it was funny
Hmm.
because I was actually talking about a book I was reading, and they were talking
Hmm.
about how like the guys that get drafted into the SEC, which is like the Southern Conference of the States, have to do
Hmm.
crazy shit. Like, like when a white guy, like let's say a white QB gets drafted,
Hmm.
I mean gets scouted, there's
Yeah.
no background check, there's nothing. But when it's a
Hmm.
guy like a black guy, they're gonna fucking do the background check, go through this database, this, and it makes me think like, oh, when the hype quote unquote dies down, is everyone still gonna be preaching it? Because it's not a stint, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's
yeah.
your guys' stance on that? Thinking when the heat of the moment, quote unquote, dies down, what do you guys think the people are gonna react? What's gonna happen? And because
For
shit
me,
like this been happening before, you know what I mean?
yeah. For me, I really want to stress to people that yes, this is a racism issue, but it's just as equally a systematic issue. You know what I mean? So stuff like that you're talking about, right? Like, yeah, there is the prejudice, but at the same time, it's like it's the system. Y'all not evaluating us, or you're not treating us equally, right? When in the system it shows, I don't know the exact things. Right now we're talking about football, right? A scout has to go talk to the player, has to do a background check, has to do a interview process, all that, right? So those are like stuff that are put in place, but we're not being treated equally. We have to do, the extra mile just to get the attention. And that's just on a football level. I didn't even know about that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
just on a government level, we get longer sentences for like small
Minimal
crimes where
shit.
we don't even do nothing and we get killed. You know what I mean? When a white man can do the same thing and shit ain't gonna happen. So I really want to stress to people that the real change is gonna be through the system. Because the prejudice, like it's hard to change someone's mind, but you can change, laws, and you can change how you apply certain things government wise. So I hope when this all dies down, that people really try to to take a stance on like changing the system rather than the minds.
I feel that when this dies down, that's when we have to come together and find a solution. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? That's where the time of like, all right, we know this is bad. What can we do to change? And like Dream was saying, he was saying like, yo, it's like the systematic oppression and we gotta fight the system and not the people because the people is already like there's some I don't know how to say this without coming off like in a weird way, but like
Speak
Hmm.
from the heart.
how to say this? Like if you take a 90-year-old, 80-year-old, 70-year-old who's been racist or is a racist, it's hard to change a person's life from
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah.
There's just no way. Like the
Hmm.
auntie or uncle or grandfather that lived in like in those times, you're telling them to just like erase all the history they've been through is really hard. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's good history, but it's just you just can't change a person from night
About
and
their
day.
mindset. Yeah,
Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? But you can change the future.
Exactly.
So like that's where we have to come together as like as just one voice and say like, yo, this was needs to be changed. How do we get there? Like together. You know what I mean? That's where the when the heat dies down, that's what I feel like our heads should be at. No more protesting, no more rioting, none of that. Because we know what's angers us. We know what's up,
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
time for change. That's what I feel like
also
would
I
have
as
to
a
be.
agree.
as a follow up to that, I just want to like
Yeah.
address the point of obviously like the States is a fucked up place, you know what I mean? And I don't know if you guys watch, but there's this thing I've been telling you about it, but there's this thing called When They See Us. It's a TV show on
Yeah,
Netflix,
Hmm.
right? It's about the
yeah, I
Central
watched it.
Park Five. If you don't know who they are, Google it. And it's to me, it's still crazy that if you know what Trump did during that time, how he paid $1 million back in the day. $1 million today is still a lot. $1 million back to the day is a fuck ton for ads for kids who had no fucking physical evidence to the case, who got manipulated by the cops, and Trump was saying, "Oh, we should bring back the death penalty to them." And thinking fast forward 20 some years, they got freed into 30 something years. That guy is president. So you see how the state, and then they, even when the George Floyd thing happened, Trump said, "Oh, I still stand my stance." So that kind of ties down to what Eddie's saying. Like, a racist will be a racist forever, even though it's not taught. Like, it's not you're not born a racist. It's taught. Like, bro, a whole bunch of videos are coming out right now. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, like, that one kid. He's a white kid, right? Dad calls him up. "Oh, son, when
Oh
you see the
yes,
picture,"
with the
and it's, yeah,
pictures.
with the pictures, right?
Yeah,
And he
yeah, yeah.
never mentions black or white. He just says, "Oh, this one has like grass or whatever." You know what I mean? Like,
Like what sounds in this picture is like the grass. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
To me, like, that's how, like, as a white man, that's how I'm gonna teach my kids. Like, bro, A, there's a chance he's Indian, but B, like, you're not gonna judge someone based off that, like, off rip. That's not even how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? And this, like, I'm gonna stress this point: the states is the root of the problem. It's like crazy. Like, I'm not saying like Canada's better, because Canada's on some fuck shit what they did with the les Amérindiens. That's still fucked. And but even here in Montreal, if you Google like police brutality in Montreal,
Happens a lot here.
there's a lot of shit. And I
You
was
just
telling
don't
this,
see it as much. That's the
yeah, and I
thing.
was
You
telling
just
this
don't
to
see it as
Kareem
much.
before the meeting. You know how we put the body cam petition in our bio?
Yeah.
That shit got turned down. Why? Because they got shit to hide, bro.
They know that's the thing. Like, they sweep so much shit under
Wait,
the rug.
whoa. Say you swear to God that got turned down.
Yeah, I
Oh
was showing
yeah,
Kareem. I'll show you the article after. It got turned down.
it
Why?
got turned down. So the police
That
aren't
shit.
gonna be wearing the body cams. So that says a lot to me. That's
Yo,
like like
red
what?
flag.
Why would you not? Like, what's
Like,
the problem by having a body
no,
cam?
you know
If
what? I'm
you're
gonna use. I'm
if
gonna
you're
use.
really doing your job,
Bro, I'm gonna use the cop line that they use on y'all so much. Hey, you shouldn't be scared if you got nothing to hide, right?
Hide.
that like that irks my soul. When you showed me that, I was really like wow, like yeah, encore
This
du
is actually
travail à
happening.
faire.
Bro, and
Travail à faire. Why? A cop is supposed to do his job good, right? He's supposed to serve and protect the people. Why is it that when I walk outside, I'm tripping or I'm on edge? I ain't even do nothing.
Nothing.
I
I
ain't
didn't
do
do
nothing.
nothing.
But I see a cop
Yo, I
pull
be
up and
walking with my
yo,
hands like
I'm,
these,
I'm
bro, and I'm like,
that's what
nope.
I'm saying.
bro, to me,
That's not normal,
to
bro.
me, it's
It's not
crazy that,
normal.
like, you know how, like, ever since quarantine started, like, no gym, whatever. So I go run and I don't even think about it, bro. Me, it's like, whatever. I'm gonna go run. Like, hey, yo, to think that you guys gotta double check, and you know what I mean, bro. I'll
That's the
never
crazy thing.
understand, because, bro, I have so much respect for you guys. You guys have no idea. Like, I tell you this on the daily, but yo, got so much respect for you, because, like I said in my story the other day, for me to do something, let's say me and Cream trying to get to the same thing in life, we want to be like journalists at the same level. No, no, no. He's gonna have to work 100 times harder than I do, and that's why, to every black person that's succeeding right now, bro, they had to put in the hours of the white person right next to them times 100.
So much more. And even my mom was telling me, or no, my mom showed me this stat where I don't have the exact numbers, but y'all can go look it up. A large percentage of people with white sounding names are gonna get
Oh,
the interview over
that's why, people change it.
other. You know what I mean? No, people will literally lie. And someone did this test. He was trying to buy a crib. He was trying to
Yeah,
buy a crib.
I think I saw the video too.
And so he called, he said his name. I think he was Arab, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. But he called, said his name. Lady shut him down quick. He called not long after with a different white name. And she was like super responsive, super helpful. So just stuff like that is like, we, black people, people of color have to go to esquiver just to try and like make it out. When I'm qualified or even more qualified, than a certain person. And that's not normal. It's not normal that we should be on edge every time that we're outside. It's not normal that, I have to learn how to comply with the police, even if they're in the wrong. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that
Bro,
isn't normal.
it's not normal that people like are making videos like blackmail. It was a black guy. He was making a video on how to get arrested. Like when you're in your
On
car and
how
you
to
get
get arrested.
yeah
Oh,
in
okay.
your car and you're getting pulled over. It was telling you like what to do. Like okay, yo, put your wallet on your dashboard right away. Put your hands on the steering
Yeah,
wheel.
okay,
You don't.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's like, bro, for me, yo, I get pulled over. Okay, whatever. I'm not thinking about what the fuck yo, me, it's like, okay, I'll just chill, whatever. Tell me what I got to do, and I'll carry on with my day. You guys, it's like, shit, is this the last? Like,
It's
come on.
protocol.
And that's just to get by.
It's a
Like,
protocol.
like that's just to get by. You know what I
Come on.
mean? We ain't do nothing. That's
Like,
just to get by. Even
and I'm not
I listened to this interview. I think it was CC Sabathia. He used to play in the MLB. He's
Yankees.
like, yo, yeah, with the Yankees. He's like, yo, how come I'm teaching my kid about how to talk with the police when he gets pulled over, and not about, okay, make sure you do this right turn or make sure you park this way. Like
Come on.
the stuff you actually supposed to learn, that's secondary.
Secondary.
That's mad to me, bro.
Secondary.
That's mad. So now again, it's a system, man. It's a system. Like
All
Eddie said,
right.
I ain't gonna bother trying to change a 50-year-old's
No,
mindset.
there's no
It's the
point.
system.
It ends there. But what what do y'all think we should do together to change
Us three as a community.
community?
Community. I mean,
Us three,
Kareem,
we have
you
nothing to change. Us three,
okay?
we have nothing to change. What do we have to
Yeah,
change?
yeah.
I've
I
never seen
think
Kyle's.
Okay,
I've never seen Kyle not want to be with black people in my life.
bro.
What is there to change?
I'm gonna say this though. How about
Go
Kareem? You
ahead.
answer from a black man's perspective, then I'll tell you as a white person's
I
perspective.
think Well, I think to me, it's not about a certain
Black or white?
perspective.
No.
I think what has to change is, um, like within the actual community. When like I hear people talking about voting and everything, and I started paying attention, and it starts to make more sense to me. I can't like. There's only so many good candidates for like presidency or prime minister, right?
Mm.
But we still have control over who's ruling our own
Who?
community. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if we just start locally, okay, this person wants to be mayor of this town, this city, and I really stand for what they do. Because even for me, now that I can vote, I'm always on the fence because I'm like, I gotta pick like the less bad person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who are actually like doing good stuff and really want to make a real change. So if we, you know, support those people more, if we shed a light more on those people, they become the mayor, of a little arrondissement, La Salle, for example. Then they go on to be mayor of Montreal. Then maybe they go on for Premier Ministre au Quebec. And then that goes up and up, you know what I mean? So I think as a community, we really got to realize like, okay, our voice and our votes actually matter and they're worth something. Let's make sure we use it towards the right person and not just like be all like loose with it. Okay, this one isn't too bad. Let me just vote this. You know what I mean? Or try to vote to eliminate somebody else. Vote for who's good.
Do you do you think do you think the reason why the human race can evolve more together is because we don't talk about our differences, like our racial differences? No, not racial differences, our ethnic differences.
I think that was another thing I was going to bring up. I think literally just this right here, talking and mostly listening, because a lot of people just don't seem to get it. As ridiculous as it is,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we're all supposed to respect each other and love each other, it's not a common concept. It boggles my mind, but I've come to peace with it. It's not a common practice. So I
Mm-hmm.
actually have to like watch how I'm talking, maybe not be defensive. Now, when I hear someone say some like racist or dumb comment, if it's not coming from like a vulgar type of way where you're just trying to get like a reaction out of me, to me it's just like you're ignorant, but not in a negative way. It's just like, yo, you really don't know. You
Mhm.
might have been with white people your whole life. You might have been with only one certain group your whole life. One black guy could have like done something bad to you, so that's why your perspective is like all fucked up. Like it's
Mhm.
not a good thing, but it that's the reality for a lot of people. So just being like, okay, you actually don't get it. Yo, sit down. Let me try and explain shit to you. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say in answer to Eddie's question, to my white people, y'all gotta understand your privilege. Y'all gotta understand how you could use that for the greater good. You gotta understand that we're not faced with the same realities as our brothers and sisters. You gotta realize that, and there's ways you could change that. Like for example, let's say you work at a firm, there's a way for you to make sure when a new job is available that they have a diverse group of people come in. It's There's a way for you to, if you see something wrong, call people out on their bullshit. You don't gotta be like, oh, I'm too scared to be different. Like, bro, if you see something wrong in the streets, speak up. Like, odds are, if you jump on a police officer that's he has his knee on the neck of a black dude, you won't get stopped.
Mhm.
Called white
Mhm.
privilege. You gotta use that. You gotta understand it. You gotta know what it is, and then when you understand it, you gotta use it for the greater good. Cause not it's a blessing and a curse. Cause like you don't gotta go through everything, but when you don't use it, you're dumb. Cause it's something you have within you, regardless what you do. And I'm gonna use this as an example. In Montreal, Saint Laurent Boulevard, after the clubs close, yo, white people are wilding, bro, doing some dumb
Yo,
shit,
facts.
but for they're fighting and whatever the like I don't understand it, but they're trying, bro. And
Yeah,
for some
yeah.
reason, it's always the black guy getting locked up for looking like a roadman, bro. What? Like you
Mm.
gotta understand that you could speak up. You don't have to be silent. And there's more to just fucking sharing posts and going to protests. There's actions you could take. There's foundations in place. Like you could get informed. And like Kareem was saying, if you don't and you stay idle and you just ride the wave, like I saw
You're
this
gonna have
thing
the
and
cause.
this might come off wrong, but like it's this
Hey,
poster
hey, fuck it.
and it said, "Oh, don't open your mouth for black dicks, but be silent for black issues."
Oh,
And bro, I'm just gonna leave it at that. You already know what I'm. Bro, come. Scorsese is you. Yeah, the mix of guns.
But
Like,
what I
oh
want to say,
man.
what I want to say, Kyle said a comment.
yeah,
Kyle said a
Yeah.
comment before, and it bothered me because when he said I'm white and I don't know my place. That's the problem. I feel like personally, I feel
oh,
like that's the problem. Like the fact that like white people are afraid to embrace the topic or like comes to terms like y'all like I'm afraid that like since I don't know I'm gonna get heated for it. But the point of it is not to the point like as a black person, some black people take it too far. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you have no right to speak about it. You don't know what I'm
Yeah.
going through. That's what it creates the fear of a white person to jump into the topic. So that doesn't
Mm.
help nobody. If you really want to help our white brothers and sisters out, you talk about it, you educate them, or
yeah.
further, you let them question you so you can answer. So then
Nah,
they have
but
another black person's like perspective. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but me, what I want to say is, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like, oh, I don't know where to stand because like my mom and like what I
Oh,
look.
okay.
I mean,
But
I didn't mean like
okay.
I
So if it's
understand what
not
you're saying.
that, well, I just want to say like some people that I know of personally as well
Yeah,
Mhm.
are like that. You know what I
yeah.
mean? They
But
just
that's a
don't
real
want to
good
bring up the
point.
topic.
That's a real good point because that's what I'm trying to talk about when I talk about ignorance. Like some people literally just don't know, and it's true. A lot of black people are so quick to just be like, "Yo, you don't know what you're talking about." Like, "Yo, why you saying that?" And they get all defensive. It's like, "Yo, understand. They don't live the same life as you. They might not understand fully. You know what I mean?" That's when you sit them down and be like, "Yo, listen, you got it all wrong. This ain't really how it is." And to the white person, listen. If you want to know what a black man is going through, a black woman is going through, you listen. You'll never know. You'll never know. Not a day in your life.
Mm-mm.
But if you listen and try to understand for real, then you might have a different perspective. So
Yeah,
that's what I mean by the dialogue and the communication
like
in a respectful manner. You know what I mean? Even when because you brought it up and you have a point when you say, people are just like sharing and stuff like that, right? And like it's good, and people shouldn't just be doing that.
I don't
At
know
the
this
same
volume.
time, I don't want to just call out people or shame people. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm saying I don't want to just shame people like I see others doing
Yeah.
just because they're not doing enough. Let them know, like,
No, no.
okay, this is dope. I see you doing this a lot now. Did you know? No, there's petitions you can sign. There's
Yeah.
donations you can make. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Kyle. I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of people are so quick to be like, "Oh, why y'all doing this? Or why y'all posting the black square? It's not helping, But
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
just shaming the people, let them know, okay,
That's what I'm
cool, this
saying.
is nice, but let's do more.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
it's something
saying.
in a respectful manner.
That's what I meant by like there's more to just like posting and sharing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's
you're
that's
right.
what I meant. Like I wanted to open the gateway to that where
You're right.
there's more like obviously bro, protesting is great. It changes a lot. It brings the attention to it. But it's not only that. It's not that you got the attention, not that you got the spotlight, quote
So what
unquote.
do you do with it?
It's what you do with it. Because if you just like stay silent and don't do nothing with it, then you're back to square one.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's what I was trying to say by there's more to it. Like there's ways to like get informed and everything. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, 90% of who I'm surrounded are black people, and like to this day I'm asking y'all like, bro, what can I do to help? Like no, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a and I live with you guys, and I still never understand what you guys go through, and I spend like all my life with you. You know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Like, and to this day I still like will never fully comprehend what you guys are going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another thing with education. Like there's talking, but like actually doing your own research. I've been trying to do as best as I could to like do my research. I learned about Black Wall Street today. I didn't even know.
Oh yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
heard about it, but I didn't even like look into it. Just stuff like that, just so you understand your history, understanding how we got here, why some certain things that happen. When you really look into it, it's stuff that has been happening for years and years and years, and has never been changed, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it's how we're living, so you wouldn't even think there's like a problem because you're used to it. When you really do your research, you see like how stuff is really crazy. How everything was divided and targeted towards you know black people, black communities to have a lot less than every other
I'm just
time.
gonna
Or
stop
just
this out
stuff
right
like
there.
that.
Thank you for watching this video. If you made it to the end, like, I really appreciate it. I really do. It means a lot. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that, and also make sure you hit the notification bell, because we're gonna have more coming this week on this subject. There was definitely more than what you just saw, so expect that. And that's that, man. We really just encourage you guys to have these type of conversations amongst yourselves, with your friends. Do your research, do your Googles, you know what I mean? It's a big issue, and I think we all have a part to play, so let's all do what we can, right? And it's all for the greater good. It's all for change, and change that's needed. So that's that. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. Let us know if you got any video ideas. Tell us what you think about what we talked about in the comments, and we'll see y'all soon.